Do you come from a land down under?
You're spending Australia Day with John and Garry on TUE 954.
Now, with Australia Day, Max Hitchins. Max is very well known for he's got encyclopedic knowledge of the Melbourne Cup, but he's come up with a list of 26 things that you might not know about Australia. And he joins us on the line on this Australia Day. Max, good morning.
G'day, John. G'day, Garry. How you going?
Terrific, Max. Thanks for joining us. I've just been going through this list, 26 things you probably didn't know about Australia and Australians, and I'm astonished with some of these things. I mean, going back to the turn of last century, it was illegal to swim in the ocean in daylight hours anywhere in Australia.
Yeah, that's right. That was a legislation brought in 1838, and from 1838 to 1902, when a guy called John Gosher went into the water at Manly and was arrested soon after he came out. It was illegal to swim.
What was the thinking behind it?
Sorry, what was the thinking?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we were just a fairly prudish country at that stage, and it was didn't want the people to be seen with half clothed. Even in 1926, there was a bylaw in St Kilda that said if you're going to bathe, you must have neck to knee. It was a bylaw of the council, so we were pretty prudish at that stage.
So you had to wait for the sun to go down,
yeah,
before you dived into the water.
Absolutely.
Well, that's also we seem to have probably more unusual town names in Australia than just about any other nation on the planet.
Yeah, we do that. We do that.
Have you ever been to Eggs and Bacon Bay?
Eggs and Bacon Bay. There's a whole heap of them. For example, you've got Delicate Nobby, Cumbie Coffin Bay, Coburn, Cockwash, Christmas Island, Chinnapook, Chinaman's Knob, Burrum Buttock. There's a zillion of them. And there are 6 towns in Australia that are palindromes, spelt same name spelt backwards. Parat in the Northern Territory, Tumut in New South Wales, Narran in Western Australia, Glenelg in Victoria, Lal in Victoria, and Hatter in Victoria.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, what about this fact that Australia fired the first shot in anger in World War One?
Yeah, we did. The ship called the SS Platts was in Melbourne port. Platts is Falls. It is Pfalz, and it was in the port of Melbourne. And on the day war was declared, and it started to head out, depart, and they flagged it and signalled it to stop, and it wouldn't do it. Didn't stop, so they actually fired a shot across the bow to stop it, which it did do, and they were taken back and their sailors were placed in jail. Get a bit of an argument about that. Some people tell you the first shot was fired in the Battle of Broken Hill, which
that's right.
May not
these are the great debates, though, and the great discussions, aren't they, surrounding Australia? You've got some great little bits of trivia here. Australia produced the world's first full-length film, and we had that nascent film industry, which was kind of killed off, wasn't it? It could have been quite different for Australia if that film industry had really taken off. And
again, there's an argument about that. The movie Ned Kelly was produced in 1906. But the Salvation Army produced a movie called Soldiers of the Cross in 1899, so you can argue backwards and forwards on that.
What are you doing for Australia Day, Max?
I'm a bit hung up because I busted my Achilles tendon, so I'm sort of stuck with watching everything I possibly can on telly.
Oh, you'll be right. So I want to ask you this because you've got this e-book,
yes.
How to Develop a Memory Like an Elephant.
Yes.
And it's a series of them for people over the age of 50, which is a lot of our audience.
Well,
to try and, to get your memory going. And number one is how to remember names. I reckon we've all had, how do you remember all those names?
Well, remembering names is something we need to... If you've ever forgotten a name within 3 seconds after you've been introduced, and most of us have, it really is a matter of getting a format, that you do at all times. When I'm introduced to someone, the first thing I do is say, how do you spell that name? You know, and if it's John, which maybe you say, well, that's a bit silly. Everyone can spell John, but I say, well, is it John Jon or John or Jonathan? So I'm trying to absolutely absorb the name, and then I repeat the name. So it's a matter of
help yourself, embed it in your mind.
Yeah, and getting into a habit of doing it at all times, and then I associate someone with the same name. So, and I see them actually sitting on your shoulder, so I can sort of see other guys that I know with the name John and Garry, and I see. Look at your pictures of you guys, and I've got someone with the same name sitting on the shoulder. So I've got sort of three things there, bang, 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 and it gives me the best possible chance of trying to remember the name. It's about developing that, and I do that with all of them. You know, I can if you give me a shopping list of 100 different items, I can give them back to you in the same order you gave them.
Interesting.
Max, have you ever lost your car keys?
Yeah, lost the car keys, haven't we all? There's a format again. If you put your keys down, if you get into the habit of putting your keys down, or when you put your keys down, put them down on something white. Or pull out a handkerchief and put them on a handkerchief. Get into the habit of doing that, and then it's the same with your glasses. You ever put glasses down and say, where do I put my glasses? You know, it really is a habit for me. Yeah. If you can get into
it's just interesting what you say there. Look, you've got these e-books. I found that interesting because a lot of people need to keep their minds going, to keep agile.
We might talk to Max again, actually, about this. This is really fascinating.
Can we, Max? Let's talk down the track about that, mate.
John, thank you.
When you've got that Achilles fixed, all right?
Yeah.
Good on you, mate.
Okay, thanks.
Well done, yeah. Max Hitchins there with some of those interesting bits of trivia about Australia Day, but that memory thing's so important, isn't it?
Well, and the latest studies show that your short-term memory only lasts for 6 to 7 seconds. So unless you've actually seized that name in that time, it's lost.
Yep.
And you've got to go back again, which is why I forget so many names.
So he's created a whole... I just had a look now. He's created these e-books about trying to improve your memory, and I think that's a really big issue for all of us as we're getting on. 24 minutes past 6 here on TUE. We're here for Mortgage House.